mindset, you're going to attract other people with negative minds. If you put out positivity and you have a positive mindset, then hopefully you will attract those same positive kind of people. But what I mean by living in a positive environment, if you live in a place that you're not comfortable or isn't equipped for what you need, things like that, to where it makes your life harder than it has to be, then those are some things that you might want to think about changing to make it to where you actually, and I forgot to pull up my slides, um, but so that you're actually, feeling positive and happy in your surroundings. Well, come on, computer. Hi, Norma. Hi, Edith. There we go. And one of the first things that I did once I was actually considered disabled and everything, I moved into this apartment that I live in now, and they were just finished building them, so they were brand new apartments. I'm the first person to ever live in this apartment. It was all brand spanking new. Um, and so it really lifted my spirits, as far as that goes, to have a very nice place to live. Let's get to our. Okay. Let's see, one more, I think. And it's very important that you are comfortable. Hi, always loyal. You're not late. Um, it's always important that you live in your comfort zone, that you are able to, do the things you enjoy doing in your space. The next thing is that you have to focus on fun. And for me, after all the years of taking care of my husband, my child, my mom, my job, when it came right down to just being me on my own, I didn't really know what made me happy or what was what I considered fun. I really had to do a lot of soul searching and think about things and decide, what is it I want to do with the time that I have. Um, Now that I'm retired and I live on a fixed income, I can't do a whole lot of things, but I do take better care of myself. I make sure that my needs are met. Um, Sometimes, as a parent and a grandparent, we tend to want to help our children. That's what Roxanne and I were kind of talking about at the beginning. Um, it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's not selfish to say, I come first. Now, if I had $1 million, I would definitely take care of my family. But I don't have $1 million. So what money I do have, I have to make sure that I take care of everything I need to take care of. And if I had extra money, all I would do with it is spend it on my daughter and my granddaughter. So I guess God sometimes knows, what we need and how we need to handle things. You have to stay active. You have to figure out what is that you can do to make yourself feel happy. Whether that's taking a class, having a hobby, or just, taking time out to sit and read a book. I used to love to read, but I would let work and things at home, get in the way of that. I wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to set aside the next 2 hours to do nothing but read my book. So now that you're retired and you don't have those constraints of having to go to work and having to have a job, you need to make sure that you're doing those things that you really do enjoy. You have to clear your head, clear your mind. Um, Stop thinking about, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. No, the only thing you have to do is what you want to do. Um, and I say when on the playing the word game, exercise your brain. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Hi, Miss Yaya. And that's exactly how I feel about it. We're not gonna retain everything that we've ever learned if we don't continue to use those skills and the information that we already know. I like to do word search and crossword puzzles and jigsaw puzzles and just really trivia, anything that makes me have to think and makes me have to recall things that I know. And I'm a good one for Google. If I don't know something, I'll say, you know what? That's a good thing to Google. Let me Google that and see, because I always want to be learning and learning new things. Next, you need to start now making plans for the future. I think a lot of us feel like, retirement is the end goal, that, we've worked and we've made it and now we don't have to work anymore. But then what are we going to do? And once you figure out what those things are that you enjoy doing, whether it's traveling or even starting a business, anything like that, you need to be making plans. If you're not making plans, then it's only a dream. And the only way it's going to ever come true is if you actually make plans, set your goals in mind, and say, okay, like I want to go to Paris someday. Well, now I've decided probably the summer of 2025, I'm going to Paris. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get there or what I'm going to do once I'm there. I haven't figured all the details out, but I know I need to save money to be able to do that. And so I'm making a plan. I will do my research. I will find out exactly what it is I need to do and get it done to where I will be able to do that, because that's something I want to do. But I have to be the one that decides what these things are I want to do and how I'm going to go about doing them. You can use positive affirmations to keep yourself in a positive state of mind. This says, repeat daily. I love and respect myself. I choose happiness, health, and joy. I live my life authentically and honestly. I express myself freely. I design my own life. I am in charge of my own decisions, emotions, and life. I am grateful for my life. And I really like this. How to win at life. Step 1, let people do what they need to do to make them happy. Mind your own business and do what you need to make you happy. The end. That's it. It's that simple. Let other people worry about what they need to do to make themselves happy, and you concentrate on making yourself happy. Next thing you can do is practice gratitude. Now, if you're feeling down in the dumps and you're having your own little pity party and everything, stop a minute and think about some other people's situations, how they live, how they struggle. And your situation won't seem quite as bad when you look at someone else's. But if you practice gratitude and be happy and grateful for the things you do have in your life that are good and positive and make you happy, then you will be positive and happy. It might be something as simple as being able to walk in your kitchen and go to the refrigerator and find a snack to eat that you like. Be thankful for that. Be grateful that, you had the money to go to the grocery store and buy whatever it is that you like. We were talking earlier today in Miss Roxanne's chat, and Always Loyal was making hummus, homemade hummus. You know, you can buy store-bought hummus, or you can take the time and be grateful for the fresh ingredients. Always Loyal is growing her own herbs and things, and so she was able to take those fresh herbs and put them in the homemade hummus. And that makes her happy. That makes her grateful that she has the ability to do those things. And you can, keep a gratitude journal if you are a journaling kind of person. I love to take notes and make plans. And so I do like to, do a gratitude journal. I also have a prayer journal that I keep. Um, Anything that you can do to bring those positive things to your mind and to really focus on them will help you stay in a positive state of mind as you're retiring and as you're aging, getting older. You have to find humor in everything. And if you can't laugh at yourself and your own mistakes and the things that you do, I'm the first person to say, I'm not perfect and I will own up to it. If I make a mistake, I'm the first person to say, you know what, you're right. I'm wrong and you were right. Hey, Purple. So, laughter is the best medicine. So no matter what the situation is in, if you can find something funny about it, laugh about it. And that will help you stay positive and not be allowing yourself to really get down in the dumps about things. I thought these statues were so cute. And those little kids walking through there, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to make funny faces right back at those statues. The next thing is surround yourself with positive people. If you only talk to negative Nellies all the time, who only have negative things to say, then what's going to happen? You're going to be thinking negative things. And if you start, looking at life through their eyes, then you're not going to have a very positive or pleasant retirement. You're going to be, the grumpy old man or woman, who goes to the grocery store and complains because all these people are in here because it's the first of the month and everybody got their money and they're all in here shopping and, don't be like that. Don't be a negative person. Try to look for what's positive in life. And if you know that the grocery store is extremely busy around the first of the month, wait and go on a few days later. You don't have to go on the first. People who are looking for the good in life and who want to have a good time, you got to find people that like to do similar things that you like to do. Things that you can go and do together and have a good time. If you just sit home and never go anywhere and never do anything, you're going to be negative. You're not going to be feeling positive. Now, I say exercise regularly. If you know me at all, I like to go to the Y and swim. And I'm not in the pool doing laps, and I'm not, you know, uh, with the different, flotation weights and all that kind of thing. I don't really have a routine that I do or anything like that. I walk around in the pool and have the resistance of the water help my legs. I go down in the deep end and I tread water, and that's kind of a whole body workout. And I swim the way I swim, and I do whatever I want to do. I just enjoy being in the water. But just the fact that I take the time to go to the Y, to get changed, to get into the pool, to get out of the pool, go in the hot tub, relax, it's all positive, and it helps me with my arthritis and my aches and pains and things like that. I'm not saying if you've been a couch potato all your life and now you retire and now you're going to, train to run a marathon. No, that's not what I mean by regular exercise. I mean, find something you enjoy doing, whether it's walking on the beach or walking your dog or playing with your grandkids, anything that gets you up and out and moving around, that is going to keep you in a more positive state of mind. This is a really big one. Volunteer. Like I was saying before, when you look at life through somebody else's eyes, exactly, Roxanne, dancing is a great exercise. But it's got to be something you enjoy and something that you will do. If you're not going to do it, then it doesn't help you at all. But find something that you're passionate about and volunteer. You have time on your hands now. You can always give back. There's got to be something that all the years you were working and raising your families that you said, one day I'm going to be able to do this or do that. Figure out what those things are and start volunteering. When you help somebody else, your problems don't seem near as bad. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are not them. No matter how hard you try, you are not going to turn into the lady down the street. And you shouldn't want to be the lady down the street. You should want to be the best version of yourself. God doesn't make mistakes. And when God made you, He made you exactly how He wanted you to be. You have to learn to love yourself and be happy with yourself, and whatever your purpose in life is, whatever you choose to do with your time, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Worry about what you want to do, what makes you happy. We're not all apples and we're not all oranges, and we can't be the same. No matter how much we're alike or how much we like the same things or how much we want to do the same kind of things, we're each individuals and we're going to have our own unique take on everything. Roxanne and I have talked about it. We have little different style in how we do things here on YouTube. And that's okay. That's wonderful. You have to do what makes you happy and what you're comfortable doing. You can't see somebody else doing something and say, oh, well, they must be doing it the right way. I must be wrong. I need to change how I'm doing it and do what they're doing. No, maybe you're the one doing it right and they're the one doing it wrong. But you got to quit worrying about what other people think, what other people say. You don't want to be somebody else. You want to be the best you can be. And this is the last point I'm going to make. And this is the hardest thing I've had to learn since my divorce. I was raised in the 60s where women were taught that they were going to get married, have children, be a housewife, take care of their husbands, take care of their families. We weren't told that we needed like big careers and work out of the house. So I really thought I had met my husband. We were married. We had infertility issues. We finally got my daughter. I thought I was living the perfect life and that it was a fairy tale and I was going to live happily ever after. That didn't happen to me. My balloon got popped after 29 years of marriage. So now I don't have that picture perfect life anymore. I never did. I thought I did, but I never really did. So now I have to live the life I have, the life that I have in front of me. I can't worry about what I wanted my life to look like or what I wanted to do in my life. I have to do and be happy because this is the life I have. And nobody's life is perfect. I just want a happy life. It's not going to be a perfect life, but it'll be a happy life. And that is the end of my slides. Now, I would really like us to have a good discussion about what do y'all feel as far as ways to stay positive, and what do you do to keep yourself from getting down in your life, and those kind of things. So anybody that wants to come up on the panel, you're more than welcome to. The link is pinned at the top. Um, and let's just have a good discussion about it. I want to live a life that makes myself happy. Now, that was a hard thing for me to, really do, because I was so much into taking care of everybody else. I wouldn't buy clothes for myself. I wouldn't do things just for myself. And, now I'm like, hey, I need to go get a couple new outfits. I gave away a bunch of clothes that I didn't care for and didn't fit me right and things like that. And I went and I bought a few new things. It makes you feel so good, even if you go, to the Goodwill or the discount store and pay, or get it on Temu and pay, $3.99 for it. Doesn't have to be expensive, but it's something you can do for yourself that makes yourself feel good. Edith is saying, I agree 100% everything you said. That's great. I'm glad you agree with me, Edith. What do you think, Roxanne?
It's hard sometimes to do for yourself and get out and, because you want to do for everybody else, and or nobody wants to do for you. So sometimes you have to meet halfway in the middle.
Right.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm torn between it's too early for me to move. I still have my mom needs taken care of, but I lost my husband and my dad. Do I really want to go to help my brother? The right thing is I should, but right now I want to take care of me. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No. And the thing about it is that you lost your husband, which has really turned your whole world upside down, because
Yeah.
you were not planning on being at this point in your life as a single person,
No.
you know? And that's, like I was intending to be a married woman going into retirement with my husband. I never knew, that what was going to happen that happened. And so you're not prepared. It's not like when you're married and you think you've raised your kids and you think, okay, the next thing is we're going to retire and then maybe we can travel and do some things together. And then all of a sudden that other person isn't there. We don't think like that. We don't sit there and plan, well, gee, I wonder what I'll do if he's not around. We don't do that. We make plans with our spouse. And then all of a sudden when they're not there, it's like you have to really stop and step back and say, what is it I want? And so I understand exactly what you're saying. I know my husband isn't dead, or my ex is not dead, so it's not quite the same, but it is the same, the sense of the loss of what you thought you were going to do in your life, and then
Yeah.
now what will you do with the rest of your life?
Yeah. And my mom lost my father. And but she's 85 years old. I thought me and my husband would be 80 or something years older before he passed away. You didn't
Right,
think that you
right.
were going to live at 67 years old,
Yeah,
68.
exactly. Yeah.
And so my problem is do I go on and do things for myself and forget about my mom, which I shouldn't. But my life right now is not stable enough. I'm stable, but it's kind of my brain is not there. I don't know if I could take care of her as well. My brother is my brother.
Right.
I need to, but I'm too grieving still, too wanting to do for me right now. Because I got married at 20, lived at home until I was 20 years old. First, not my first boyfriend, but my first guy.
Yeah.
You know,
And Norma says, that's like me. I never thought I'd be raising my kids' kids. Exactly. You know, you
Right.
think you're going to raise your kids, and then it's going to be time for you and your husband. And, you know, thank the good Lord you still got your husband. But because of situation, you know, and you didn't want the kids going into foster care or being with some, you know, some stranger. So you took them in. And this, she's already raised one grandchild that's already, now he's in college. And now she's raising the other two. But that's
Yeah.
not what she thought her life was going to look like at this point in her life, you know?
Yeah, one of
So,
my friends is raising her. I think he's 9 years old now. Grandson. Either if she didn't take him, he was going into defects
yep,
because he was on drugs. And at the time, Dad was just getting out of prison for being on drugs, and he was getting, And so the only way Dad could see him if Mom took him in.
yeah. And I mean, a lot of parents end up doing that, take the grandkids in because they don't want to see them, you know, go in the system. But, and I mean, I'm the first one to admit it. My granddaughter wears me out, you know. I mean, I don't consider myself an old 60-year-old, but dealing with small children, you know, it's a lot. Chloe, it's not raining. She always does that. If it's going to rain, she barks because she thinks it's going to rain. But it's like as soon as I get talking on a live, then she'll be like barking, like "Come get me!" You know, it's like lay down. Um, but yeah, I mean, you just don't realize how much it takes to raise children. You know, and poor Norma, those two, you know, she's going to have two teenagers on her hands. That's going to be, you know, a lot. Yeah, I know they wear you out too. The hardest thing for me is cooking for me only, so I snack more but healthy. Yeah. I have a hard time cooking just for myself too, but I freeze a lot. I'll make a big pot of whatever and then I'll freeze it in small containers and then it's like I have my own TV dinners, you know.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
But it is hard to get used to, you know, I mean, I always have, you know, you cook for a family, you don't cook for just one person. So it makes it hard. And now with the cost of groceries, my gosh, I do a lot of sandwich and soup and, you know, little quick things because it's so expensive to actually buy a lot of, you know, stuff that you have to cook and all that.
Sometimes when I go to the store, like Ritz crackers, I don't eat a whole thing of them that fast, and they're gonna go stale. So even though you might pay more to get that one sleeve of the store brand crackers, like Aldi's has got one, I fell in love with it. I said same price as the 4 packages of the Ritz crackers, but I won't eat 4 packages that fast. So I said try to save money that way instead of wasting. You know, you can
Right.
always you can always take those crackers that you let go stale and put them in cooking because they're gonna get soft and anyway.
Yeah.
But
Right.
sometimes you might have to buy that smaller pack just so you won't have to waste it because you wasted that money.
Mm-hmm.
I learned
Well,
that.
I bought some expensive tomatoes, and I just threw the last two of them out today because it just seems like they didn't last very long at all. And I ate like a tomato every day, but I still didn't eat them fast enough to eat, and so I threw two of them away. But I'm not going to eat rotten food. I mean, not that desperate. Um,
Yeah,
but and I do the same thing. There's certain things that I live right behind a grocery store, so there's certain things I'll run in there and get, and then there's other things I will go to Walmart and get, and I try to go there like once a month, and get whatever it is that I need or whatever. But there's just like a lot of things that I won't buy and I won't make just because of the expense of what it costs.
yeah. And sometimes going to your local market during the summer can be expensive, but you know the quality you're getting if they grow it themselves.
Yeah, that's true too. I do think the loaves of bread are getting smaller. I really think everything is getting smaller and they're just charging the same price or more of a price. They're trying to make you think you're getting more, but you're really not if you look at the ounces on things.
Yeah.
Well, see, Miss Edith says I could chop them up and freeze them for sauce later. That's true if I had caught them before they went bad, which they
Yeah.
were sitting there, and I went to eat one today, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. And then I said, oh, well, this one's not good, neither is the
Uh,
other one.
Back about 5, 6 years ago, a bag of sugar was 5 pounds. Now a bag of sugar is 4 pounds,
Yeah.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
the same price.
Yep. Exactly. I think they've done that to the coffee too. I don't buy coffee myself, but my husband drank, coffee all the time. And it seemed like we were paying more and getting less coffee, in the container of the coffee. And that was 8, 9 years ago. So
Yeah, and some people think that they have to get the store brand because it's better. Not necessarily the
name
high
brand.
end brand, name
Yeah.
brand. But the store brand sometimes comes out of the same factory. Monday they may make for Kroger, and Tuesday they're gonna make that same thing for Aldi's or for whatever your main store is.
Yeah.
So you just have to watch it, and
Well,
sometimes it's the very same thing with different name on it.
and I compare the ingredients and the amount of the ingredients, the ounces, and all of that because I'm not really picky, as far as like a lot of things. I don't care what brand it is,
Right?
necessarily. But I do that even, just whatever it is I'm buying. I'll look at it because I try to save money, however I can. I don't like cheap paper towels or cheap toilet paper. I feel like the cheap paper towels you use twice as much to do the same you would with the more expensive. So I like Viva paper towels. But I'd rather pay a little extra and have that.
Right.
Okay, always. And I don't oh, hey, Carver, how are you? You're right. Our money is definitely worth less now than it was.
Back years ago, when my daughter was a child, I did demos in the grocery store. Gave out samples, had to cook it, and all these things. And I'm making, I think it was chocolate chip cookies, and it was from Nestle's. Well, the owner of the store in Kroger came and gave me the store brand. He said, "This is what you're using this weekend." I said, "But I'm promoting Nestle's." He said, "This comes from Nestle's." So their chocolate chips are from Nestle's Tall House Cookies,
Yeah,
brand.
right.
Yeah. And if you go in and buy meat and you say you want 80%, 10%, when I was demoing something with hamburger meat, I think it was Hamburger Helper. The first time when I cooked it, he gave me the high end stuff. The second time he gave me something else. He said, I'm supposed to be using this. He said, it's the same thing. If it's got 10% of the fat or something in it, we can call it that. It has to have 10% of it in there. And I said, oh, I learned something.
Yeah. Yep.
Got 10% of the ground chuck in it, it can be called ground chuck, even though
Yep.
it may be ground beef.
Yeah.
It only has to have 10% of that additive in it to be called that.
Yeah.
And I learned something that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I mean, you really have to shop around for everything anymore. You can't just,
Yeah.
say, okay, well, this sounds like a good deal. You better be doing some research, and you better be, making sure you're not getting taken advantage of, or you're not getting a piece of junk, and things like that, because it happens. People, you know, most people are out for themselves. They're not, um,
Next time you go into the dollars, everything's a dollar store, Dollar Tree. It's $1.25. You're saying, oh, these can of Pringles are fantastic, but they're an ounce less in those can of Pringles than they are in the grocery store.
mm-hmm. And not everything's $1.25. My
No,
Dollar Tree has stuff that's $3 and $5 and more, So you can't just assume because it's in a dollar store, that it's going to be $1. They
yeah,
do have signs that'll say, $3 or $5 or whatever. But at first you look at it and you think, oh, for $1.25, that's a great deal. And then no, it's not $1.25. And you get to looking.
yeah. You have to watch the ounces and sizes that the stores have. That may be the difference in one thing to another. It's like 2 or 3 ounces less.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it depends on what you go in there and buy. Some of it is a bargain, some of it's not.
Well, and I look at it this way too. Um, let's say the small bottle of Dawn dishwashing liquid, it's used to be like 97 cents at Walmart. It's probably $1.07 or even $1.17. But now it's $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. But if that's the only thing I would be going to Walmart to get, it's better for me to buy it there because I'm already there and pay those few cents extra as opposed to driving to a Walmart and not only burning the gas, but also taking my time to have to go to another store.
Yeah.
So it's like there's certain times if I'm in one store and I would normally go to Walmart and buy my paper products and my cleaning supplies, things like that. But say I forget that I needed something. I would rather do that because I'm already going to that store for something else than to make a separate trip and go to a Walmart and have to spend the gas money. And, I would rather do it that way. But I think everybody has to make that decision on their own. What's, the easiest thing for them.
A lot of people like going to Dollar General stores for their cleaning supplies because they're cheaper. So if you got one close to you and you don't want to go all the way to Walmart because their prices may be about the same, I go to the closest store. I would.
Yeah. Well, and even like with me, okay, I have the grocery store, but their paper products and their cleaning products are a lot higher, and like their shampoo and deodorant and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot more expensive than what Dollar General charges. And so we have the grocery store and we have a Dollar General. Those are the only two stores in my town. But I've learned if it's something like that is cheaper at Dollar General, it's better to go there to get it than it is to get it from the grocery store.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what it is I need. And, at the time, if I want to go, and like I have my prescriptions at Walmart, which the Walmart's 10 miles from my house. But if I have to go and get a prescription and I need a couple things, I would pick them up at Walmart while I'm there getting a prescription. Right. But if I don't have to go to Walmart to get a prescription, I'm not driving that 10 miles when I'm right behind a grocery store and like 2 blocks to a Dollar General. Just makes sense not to do that. Yeah. Hi, Jordan. How are you doing? That was a great Bible study today. Would you like to follow me on Spotify? The Tinfoil Bunker. You have to listen to at least a minute.
All right.
Okay. Tinfoil Bunker is on Spotify, and you can go on Spotify for free and be able to listen to his podcast. I'm just going to check into doing the podcast. I think I would like doing it. I don't know. I got to check into it.
That would be just re-recording what we're doing now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Know?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can turn these into podcasts just by putting them up later as podcasts.
Yeah. But I'm gonna check into it. Now what do you want it to drop that you put?
I was dropping my link on my side, but
You
it
got
didn't work.
Oh, on
Mine,
your side? Oh, okay. I was gonna
yeah,
say, yeah.
yours is hashtag. I know that, but mine wasn't. Mine on Nightbot's not working.
Oh,
He's asleep
he's asleep.
again. Some people gave up on Nightbot and took him out completely.
Well, I mean, I like it for people being able to drop their links by doing hashtag echo and it'll drop your link. And I like it like for our party coming up Saturday, I could put all of that information in there, you know.
Yeah.
So I like it for stuff like that. But I think depression is very not expected, but very common, I would say, in people that are no longer working for whatever reason, because you do go through that change of, okay, if I'm not that person that works, then, you know, well, who am I or what am I? The party is at 7 o'clock Saturday night, and it's going to be on Miss Norma's channel, Real Life Happens. And we're going to show I made some funny, like cartoony type videos when we first got started. We're going to play those, and I pulled a couple other videos to play. And then we're going to do giveaways every 15 minutes. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. But I think it's best if people realize, you know, that they may go through that kind of down feeling, like, especially when it's something that you've looked for. If you've looked forward to retiring, you know, and you're working until your retirement age and all of that. And then when you actually do retire, sometimes it's like a letdown, like it's not what you thought it was going to be. Or I kind of do better when I have some sort of a schedule to go by than just to have a lot of free time, because then I get really lazy if I just if I just have a lot of free time, you know. So some people may find they need some sort of schedule, even though they don't have a job to go to. They still, you know, it's easy for me to get, excuse me, it's easy for me to get turned around and be up all night and sleep in the daytime. Yeah, look on there, because I put a short out about it and I posted it on my channel and on your channel. I think I put it to come out, yours to come out Friday night and mine to come out Saturday morning. I think, Norma. It's been so long since I posted anything on that channel. I was like, do I even remember how to do it over there? But I did it. Yeah, and there's the link if anybody isn't subbed up over there. I can't believe it's been a year. Oh, I know. This summer, won't that be lovely? I don't know. Last summer it didn't. Yeah, we can drop it again. Um, but last summer it didn't seem like I was like looking forward to summer to be able to sleep. But this year, I'm like, yeah, I've slept or not slept, you know, to where I'm looking forward. There it is, Miss Edith. I know I've been tired too. just we're getting old. We need to find the fountain of youth. Does anybody take Geritol? Remember the old Geritol commercials? You want a little pep in your step? Take some Geritol. I guess I need to take some and see how it is. See if it helps.
I don't know if they make that stuff anymore.
I don't know if they do or not.
Now they've got so many quick fix pills. You know, this make your brain better. Take this pill. This will make your heart better. You know, some of them
Yeah,
are good for you, and some of them are like, where'd they come from? You know?
right. Well, that's one thing my mom had done. She was buying all kinds of stuff off the television, and she ended up getting a kidney stone. And so took her to the hospital for the kidney stone. And when they were going to go in there with the wire thing or whatever, so that she could they could get it maneuvered out or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And her heart rate was all over the place, and they couldn't figure out what was going on with it. And so I went home and I looked where she kept her medicine, and there was all these different supplements that all had stuff in them, to give you energy and all this stuff. And she just had like taken too much of that stuff. Just like what's in the energy drinks and stuff, it can mess up your heart rate, your heart rhythm. So, oh no. Oh, just eating meat. Okay. I was going to say, Carver, I thought you didn't eat meat, but you do. He eats meat and vegetables. Now you're thinking about just eating meat and eggs for a month and no vegetables. Yeah, Bengay and Absorbing Junior. You're right. Those are both good for arthritis.
Yeah, my daughter, they eat vegetables and meat. They don't eat any rice. They don't eat any bread. It's for they don't eat any potatoes. They try to stay away from all that. They said it's not good for you. I eat in moderation. I don't let something, you know. Yep.
Carver says, I think the veggies are trying to kill me. Well, I hope not. How's the puppy doing?
He just wants a protein diet. A lot of people do that when they eat nothing but meat. And I don't
Yeah.
eat a lot of vegetables, but I don't just eat meat. I'm going to eat me some rice or a potato or a noodle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Well, being diabetic, I do try to eat more vegetables than I do starches.
Right.
And if I'm only going to have but I'll make a meal out of vegetables sometimes. I'm funny like that. I could eat a sandwich or a bowl of soup or just some vegetables or whatever. I don't have to have how a lot of people have a full 5-course meal or whatever. Now I do like fruit too, but that's the same thing. I can't drink like a lot of fruit juice because it's concentrated. I have to. It's better for me like to eat an orange than to drink orange juice. Doesn't raise my sugar quite as fast. I love almost all. No peas, broccoli, yuck. I know, Norma says, I know I got to watch my intake of high phosphorus because of my kidneys. It was high and it got my kidney acting up. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, farted.
Are you laughing at Carver's garden?
The dog. She's back here. She made a fart sound. I just peep.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Being diabetic, I have to be careful, but I think I think my biggest downfall is um, if I do eat sweets or potatoes or bread or anything like that, it's like I don't know when to stop with it. Not just to do the moderation. It's almost like if I have it in the house, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
So
Now I like vegetables sometimes, but I can't eat a lot of certain things because it gives me stomach trouble. But I like eating like if I'm just gonna have a vegetable plate. I don't know if y'all grow up eating like chow chows and things like that. Chow chows to go with your vegetables. I love
yeah,
pear chow chow.
yeah. Well, and in the summertime, I love sliced tomatoes and corn on the
Mm,
cob, like
yeah,
that. And when I was a kid, we would go to a place and it was just this little shack on the side of the road, but they had really good produce there and they would have fresh homemade bread. And we would go on a Sunday after church, take a drive out into the country, and we'd go to this place, get corn on the cob, tomatoes, and fresh bread. And I'm telling you, that's some of the best tomato sandwiches ever. And good old corn on the cob.
yeah,
I can remember plenty of meals made out of that.
yeah. I love it. Yeah, I made some this summer with some of my pears I had out. Made me just a couple of small jarfuls.
Hmm. Hi, Joe. You got finished with the bingo?
I love pepper relish too, but not spicy pepper relish. I love it with cream cheese and crackers.
Hmm.
I love those kind of things, but I got to get tomatoes bought to plant in my garden. I haven't done that yet. I planted seeds and I've got nothing come up from it, so I said I guess it's just time to go break down. And I don't want a 6 pack of this. I just want like two of this kind of plant, two of this kind of plant, two of this kind. But we used to plant 30 or 40 tomatoes, and my husband would share them with everybody in the neighborhood and everybody at work. But being by myself, and tomatoes don't like me that well, but I love them, I don't want to have an overabundant supply.
Yeah. What is cowboy candy, Miss Edith?
I've heard of that, but I can't remember what it is.
Joe says we have a nice garage this year.
I think you meant garden.
I think so too. Don't you love that autocorrect?
Well, I've got cucumbers planted. I've got green beans planted. I've got, what do you call them? Radishes planted. And I've got some zucchini planted. And I want to get some yellow zucchini. None of my yellow zucchini came up, only the green. So I've got to go see if I can find some. I don't want the the yellow squash that's straight or crooked. I want the zucchini yellow. And sometimes it's hard to find. It may be already gone from the stores.
Do
I
you
just
make
like,
zucchini bread?
I have, but it's not my favorite.
Oh,
I'd rather take the zucchini and use it in soups. Use it in when you make homemade dressing. If you want to get a vegetable in your kid, peel your zucchini, take all the seeds out, cook it, then puree it after it's cooled off. Add it to your homemade dressing or your homemade stuffing, and nobody's gonna know it's in there. And
uh,
you get a vegetable in, and I like it that way.
yeah. Hi, Lisa D. She said, "Yum, fried cabbage." Cabbage, yeah. Um, I saw a recipe, I think it was on Facebook today, for zucchini bread, but they had blueberries in it. And my mom used to make it, but she never put any kind of fruit in it.
Yeah,
She
I've got
sometimes would put
blueberries in
nuts
my
in it.
backyard.
Hmm.
I need to see if they're about ready and call my friend if she wants them. Come get them. You know, I'm not gonna beg you to come get them. If you want them, they're here. If not, the birds eat them.
Yeah.
First come, first serve.
Okay. Cowboy candy is jalapenos in sugar, apple cider, cooked, then jar, grate on Ritz and cream cheese. That's very interesting. Never heard of that.
Oh, that's like the pepper jelly. It's sort of like pepper jelly, but they make it hot, and I love it on cream cheese. I love pepper jelly, and
Hmm. I've
there's
never
one you
tried
can
that.
buy from it's called David and not David and Buster's. Harry and David, I think is the name of the company. You can buy it offline, or you can buy it at some of your local, like our Ollie's has it sometimes. But they have a good pepper jelly that's good with cream cheese. All right, Lisa. Yay.
Really, that A1C, that's great. Congratulations. I had mine down to 6, and then the last time I went, it was 7.9. We can't figure out how it jumped that high that fast, but
You
it
know, they
did.
say if you're, my husband would go have his work done, blood work done, and sometimes we would go out to eat. If he ate shrimp, I found out later that shrimp will cause your blood work to go all haywire. It's
Oh,
just shrimp.
really?
Yeah, it made
Huh.
his blood work go wrong. So from then on, after we realized that, before he had blood work, we didn't eat out for 3 or 4 days before he had blood work because we wanted to make sure there was nothing in the outside food or whatever to get
Yeah.
his blood sugar up. Because I didn't cook shrimp at home. I knew how, but he'd rather had it out. So I just said, all right, we'll go out to Red Lobster and get your shrimp, you know.
Oh, and I get this. My daughter says to me tonight, um, are you still going to keep the baby on Sunday? I said, Sunday? I said, next weekend I'm going to have her all weekend, and she goes, no, this Sunday for Mother's Day. And I said, no, I didn't say that. She's like, I must have imagined it. I'm like, yeah, I think you imagined that. And I said, I can't do it Saturday night because we got the party. And then I said, Sunday afternoon, we got the bingo. So you can bring her to me early Sunday morning and pick her up before bingo. Or you can bring her to me after bingo and let her spend the night. And she was like, oh, I'll think about it. And I was like, no, 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 no. She trying to finagle her way. I told her, I said, I got plans. You didn't tell me ahead of time. But I
Yeah,
couldn't believe that. Did I still want to do it? And I'm like, I never said I was going to do it.
because it's Mother's Day and she wants a Mother's Day. Mother's Day is spent with your children
Yeah. Eh,
if you got children at home. Now the older children, if they can't come, because they got children or they got, their own family. So
mm-hmm.
yeah. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. My brother's gonna get mad if I don't go down for Mother's Day, and I just hadn't put two and two together. That this weekend's Mother's Day. What are we gonna do with Mom? So
Well, and when Norma and I talked about it last Sunday, were we going to do bingo on Mother's
yeah, the
Day?
dog's behind me.
Yeah, that is a dog. That's her candy baby. But we talked about it and I said, I don't have any plans. And if I do, we can work them out around the bingo time. And then here my daughter does that. And I'm like, no. She did bring me a real pretty purple mum and a coffee mug with Eiffel Tower on it. But
Oh,
I was like, nope, not this time. I'm not giving in to you this time.
Yeah, but I haven't heard from both of my brothers. Neither one of them said anything. So I guess I'll have to call on tomorrow and say, are we doing anything on Mother's Day? If not, I'm staying home.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. It's my first Mother's Day without my husband in the house. Which is no
Yeah.
big deal. I wasn't his mother, but it's still,
Well, but it's still every holiday is affected, you know.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the thing. People have to realize it's going to take you however long it takes you, you know.
yeah,
And there's no recipe to get it done quicker or have it take longer. It's going to take as long as it takes. And like you said, some things you're getting better about, you know, being there by yourself or whatever. But there's going to be a lot of times they're going, it's going to come up and you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm not good with this. But
yeah,
you have to take care of you. You're the only you got.
yeah. And I did ride to my brother's by myself, for the first time a month or so ago. After my wreck. Before my wreck, I went down there, but after my wreck, I got brave. I said, I got to do it. And my mom said, can't you spend the night? And I said, sorry, I got to go home.
Hmm. All right. Good night, Norma. Get some rest.
Good night.
I
And
know
I
I
know
thought,
so much that I'm going to regret it if my mom dies and I haven't done what I needed to do for her. I'll do it when the time comes.
well, it's hard. It's a hard, like a rock in a hard place. It's like,
I know.
you have to take care of yourself. And
I mean, my grandmother lived almost to be 91 years old. She liked 11 days. And I asked my mother down there, I said, yeah, you got to be as old as your mama. She said, I'm going to live to be 100.
she
And
might.
so if she's going to live to be 100, I'm 63. That's about 20, say 20 years from now. I don't want to wait 20 years to go see my grandson, you know?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And if I have to, she could eventually come and be with me part time and go to my brother's part time. But I don't want to. My brother has her all the time now, and he's kind of tired of it, and I understand that. But if my husband had to die or wasn't sick, we might have helped taking over. But
Mhm.
I can't right now. I
Yeah.
can't do it full time. And it would be better on her if I kept her, say, 3 months and he kept her 3 months or 4 months and 4 months because she gets car sick easy in her older age. And an hour and a half from my house to his house, depending on the traffic. So,
Yeah, it's that's why I said too, if you could go there and that way she'd be in her regular surroundings, it might be easier on her too.
yeah.
And you could just go and stay with her for a few days and let your brother do whatever.
But I don't think that would work. Mm-mm. He's got two dogs, which I love them to death. But one of them, when he rescued this dog last year, people didn't tell him that she's got cataracts and she's going blind. And so she does not. My brother would put her, like she throws a dog a treat. The other dog will get it. If the other little dog that's going blind doesn't see it, she misses out. My brother has to go there and put it right in front of her nose, and she won't go outside to the bathroom. And Tim's because I don't think she can see to get out there.
Mm.
So she has too many accidents in the house, and they're too close to the train tracks. And no,
Has your
I
mom
don't.
always lived in that house?
They've been living there. I don't know how many years. 15, 10, 15.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember what year they actually moved in there. probably about 15 years ago. So, but they like it, but it's too small, too compact for me. Yep.
I know it's a hard decision to know what's the right thing to do, but I do know, that something happens to your mom, you still have to live, and you're going to have to be able to take care of yourself and do what you need to do for you.
Yeah. That's why if I move to Florida, I'll make sure I have a room for her if she has to come stay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends told me you ought to get you a tiny house. This is just you and the dog, but I want to be able to stay. All right. I don't know if any of my family would ever come, cousins or any of my friends, but I want that extra bedroom to have company
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, and eventually your grandson may be able to come and stay.
Yeah. Yep. So I thought about two bedrooms, but I may want like 2.5 bedrooms. What they call a half bedroom is a smaller room where I could put a twin bed or something. Not three big bedrooms, but
Yeah.
yeah. I was looking up houses today just for the fun of it, and some of them are really expensive, and some of them are like, "What year was that house made?"
Yeah.
It,
Yeah,
it
because
is
you don't want to get one that needs a whole lot of work to it.
no, no. I looked at some that were really new, but they were just a little bit out of my budget, and some that were new that were I could probably do that if I sold this house. But then they were in
Yeah.
communities, and I typed in pool. Well, there's no pool at the house; it's a community pool. I'd rather have a uh, place in my backyard I could go and stick my feet in some 2-inch water if I have to.
Yeah.
No, I don't want or a hot tub. I don't want anything fancy. I don't want anything big. Just something. I found one today, but it was way out of my budget. You walked out your side door, and
Hmm.
right there was a pool on a big right, and it had a big over thing over it. And I said, "Oh, that is so neat. It's almost like what I've dreamed." But there was no hot tub.
Yeah. But you could probably put one in there.
Yeah, I probably could. It was almost like but I got to thinking, why I need to be closer to my grandson. You know, but I want to also be in a town that's got some stuff. They have Winn-Dixie. They have two Publix. They have two Aldis. Not far from each other. But the problem is, I love a couple other little stores that they don't have. So you have to give and take sometimes.
Right. All right, Miss Edith. Good night. She said her meds are kicking in. She can barely keep her eyes open. So
Good night,
get
Edith.
you some rest. I'm not far behind you. That 5 o'clock in the morning comes way early.
I like Ollie's too, and there's no Ollie's in her town. There
Yeah.
is one 30, 40 minutes away, and I said, well, I guess if I have to, I can make that my day trip to go do things in one little town an hour or so away.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Florida I hope Florida eventually gets some the Lidl stores. I love shopping at those.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. So I don't know.
I
Um,
love it. If you ever came out here, I'd take you. It's about 15 minutes from my house. Would go to that area. I like the area I go to. That I'm going to go to tomorrow. Probably is you have an Ollie's and everything's $1 and a clothing store all in one shopping center. Then you
oh,
go up
wow.
one block and turn left, and you've got if you've never heard of it, Food Depot. Then the next store is your Kroger. And then you got a Publix. And then you got Lidl's and Aldi's all on that same road within 2 or 3 miles of each other. I said, I
Wow.
like that would be neat to live in an area like that. There's no Walmart though, but
Yeah.
you have all these grocery stores and little shopping areas that have other little small things in them, that you could get by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there probably is a Walmart, but it's not anywhere near in that area. But for groceries, yeah. Oh, and there's also Family Dollar or Dollar General there.
Mm-hmm.
So not a lot
Yeah.
of restaurants, but I don't think you need them if you're gonna go to
Mm-hmm.
the grocery store down there. But I have a variety of grocery stores in that one area that I like to go to.
Right.
That's one thing when I decide where and if I'm gonna move, I want to make sure there's a variety of something and not just like there's one little grocery store over there. Then you got to know 15 minutes or 20 to get to the next one. I want more than one in the area,
Mm-hmm.
more than one kind of thing.
Yeah.
And where my daughter lives, it's probably 15, 20 minutes to the Walmart. So that's why I'm thinking, where I really want to live. But I got thinking, I got to be closer to family.
And
Yeah.
how far is it between your mom's and your daughter's?
Hour and a half from my house to my mother's, 10 hours total to Florida.
Oh wow. So it'd still be
About
eight
eight.
and a half.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be 8.5. But I mean, I cannot, I'm going to be honest, I couldn't live with my dad and my mom and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And his daughter is down there. Well, his son now. She's trans. That's another story. But anyway, they don't get along that well. So I don't think he'd ever want to really come to Florida to be closer to him.
Mm.
But if they did, I would get something that had like two small houses on one lot, or a mother-in-law's place, or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's some things I could do. But my brother could work from wherever because you know,
Yeah.
my friend would just have to get some of her clients to be in Florida, so my brother can do you know, she prints off the payroll at her house. My brother could learn to do it on a computer at his place if she had places down there, because it'd be too far for him to come take payroll.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're mostly Mexican places, and I don't know why that she only has one company that has direct deposit. Everything else is payroll. So the lady has to either ferry it, courier it down there, or her or Tim have to get the payroll and take it to the people. The reason they do that is because they don't want the paper trails, kind of thing. They go cash their checks at the local whatever place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't know if they're all sending money back to their country, or they just rather do it
Well,
that
they
way.
may not be legal enough to like go have a bank account or.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I still got to think of my mom. But I think I got to put me first.
Definitely put yourself first because like I said, you're the only you got, and you got to take care of yourself. And
Yeah,
then your grandson is going to be most likely alive a lot longer than your mom will be. And so you need to be where you can be involved in his life.
yeah. Because he's graduating. We were in the candy store, And I told him he could pick out so many things, and he got one big box and a bunch of little stuff. It wasn't quite as many, if you counted the big box with all the little individual pieces, he got more than I told him he could have. But I counted that as one item. But we were sitting there looking at these little boxes, about yay big, and it had 4 little pieces of candy in it. He said, "I want one of those." I said, "That's for graduating, people who are graduating." He said, "I'm graduating." I said, "You're in kindergarten." He said, "Yeah, I'm graduating kindergarten." So I got him one. He's smart,
Yeah, he's very smart.
He's
You
very
can tell
smart.
that. You can tell that by the video and stuff.
Yeah. And the
That
sad
he's
thing
very
is,
smart.
I said, unless y'all invite me and tell me when the kindergarten program is, even if it just lasts 30, 40 minutes,
Hmm.
I could come down there, but most likely I won't be able to again.
Yeah.
So, and I offered her to come.
This makes me wonder if you lived closer, if things would be different with that whole situation. You know.
It might be because when they need a babysitter, they have to call on his daddy, who is 85 years old with lung cancer, but he's not bad enough to have treatment yet. And he can't do it. He did it overnight and cleaned it all right, but it really wore him out for a couple of days. So,
Hmm.
a couple of 3 hours is all that guy can really handle.
Right. Hmm.
And if they want to be able to go on, you know, they like to go to concerts too, and they hadn't been able to do one because they can't find anyone to babysit. They have a cousin down there, he does, but she helps out once in a while because he don't get along with a cousin, so he don't really want to ask her.
Yeah.
But I think if I was down there, it might get a little better. They might bring Clint over after school while she's working. If Dad's too tired because of his problem, he could stay with me. If he fell asleep, she could pick him up in the morning and take him to school.
Yeah.
If I didn't live too far away.
Yeah. I just feel like have they always lived down there? Did they get married and move down there, or how long they've been down there?
They've been down there 6, 7.5, 8 years. But they
Before he
met.
was born.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
born before he was born. But
Mm.
they met in Murphy, North Carolina area.
Oh, okay.
She was living in Franklin and he was living in Murphy, and they met on a dating site. And his parents were originally from that New York. When he was 5 years old, they moved to Florida. So that's all that Benny knew. And he had a house. And they went back to live in the house, but the people didn't pay Benny rent, and he didn't have the money to catch up on his house note, so they lost the house. And they bought him another one, and that's where they're living.
Oh.
So, and his parents moved back down there from Murphy, North Carolina, to be closer to the grandson. And Joy thought that before my husband got sick and all, when Dad retires, they'll move down here too. But we thought about it, but my husband was the kind, I don't want to stay right where I'm at. I think some of it was probably dementia started years before we even knew he had it.
Right. Good evening, quiet listener.
Hey,
That's why I'm thinking if you were, like she probably doesn't want to ask you to move down there. But on the other hand, if you lived closer, I think things would be different than they are right now.
yeah, I think they would ask me to babysit, you know, once a month or maybe.
Or at least let you see him more often and be more involved. And you
Maybe.
never know, your daughter might even like it having you live in closer, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would be, you're an hour and a half from Disney and all those parks. And I would get the Florida Park Pass that they have, that you can go into several places.
Yeah, don't they have, if you're a Florida resident, you can get year pass or something.
Yeah, you get it a lot cheaper than an outsider would.
Yeah.
And I would get there's one that somebody was telling us about that they had, and it gets into all the parks.
Well,
And
that would be good.
I don't know what it would
We would
cost.
love that.
Yeah, I don't know what it would cost, but I'm not a big thing. But if you're gonna go drive an hour and a half, and you're gonna do that once a month, you don't need to spend
Yeah.
all those many hours. You go do your favorite thing, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah. And she's close to some of the places where you can go and see. 45 minutes from the manatees, but I wish she was a little closer to some better things than just the canal and the river. They got a
Yeah.
river that we go to. We call it the Little Beach, and it's fantastic. But I can't. If I went towards Otter Creek, there's several places you could go and see. But I don't want a boat to go down those little canals and rivers.
Right. Right.
But I would be centrally I'd be like 2.5 hours from, or three from that area that I wanted, might go to, and I'd be 3 hours from, or 3.5, from Valdosta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be too bad, but I'd
Right.
rather it be
It
short.
definitely wouldn't be 10 hours like it
Yeah,
is now, you know.
yeah, it wouldn't be 10 hours, wouldn't be 5 to go to somebody's house.
Yeah.
And I still sometimes, if I got there and I'd say, "Can I sleep on your couch?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I definitely do not drive at night, and that's one of my fears. Yaya was talking about that today. I think it was Yaya. What's one of your fears and all? That would be one of mine.
Mm.
Yeah, but I know after you've live in Florida, or you're closer to the beach, after about a month you're tired of it. But I love the water, so
Yeah, and it just depends. I mean, I don't know if I would move close to the water just to be close by the water, but if I happen to be close by the water, that would be a plus, you know.
yeah. When they first moved down there for the first, about a year, she would ride her bike the 4 miles or 5 over to the nearest beach, and that got old after a while, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be one thing I could do is go take pictures of the sunset on the beach once in a
Yeah.
while.
Mm-hmm.
Just so as I'm home for dark.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. But I still got a lot of soul searching to do and thinking, and what am I gonna do, kind of thing. But
Yeah, and I think when you hit on the right situation, things you'll have more of a peace about it,
yeah,
you know, and you'll know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do or whatever.
yeah, yeah. But
Um,
you just never know when someone's gonna die, and I don't want to. If my mother's, her mind's not all there anymore, but it's not. My brother don't think she has dementia. Me and my other brother think she may have like my husband. He didn't have it that bad until he fell. Then
mm,
that was just other complications in the hospital.
right.
Yeah, but if they have to, she'd have to come down there and live with me. Then I'd have my daughter also on the days, if I had to do something during the day and she's not working, she could also come over and say, "Hey, Grandma."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she works like at night. She usually works from 4 to 10 or 6 to 10, depends on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm just don't want to be full responsibility. And I know my brother's tired of being full responsibility.
Yeah.
And she'd have her other grandson down there, you know. She'd have my brother's child if she wanted to come up and see us, or he, you know.
Yeah.
He don't even come see my daughter, you know, their cousins, and they don't even go see each other. And they're about an hour and a half away from each other. She just, or he, they just don't do it. But she's also only 21, 22 years old, and my daughter's 40.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I don't know. It's, family is funny. Sometimes it doesn't matter how far apart you are or how close you live. Sometimes you just don't see each other. I mean, my sister's about 6 hours away,
yeah,
and they don't drive as much as they used to. They used to drive because they lived in Kentucky, and they would when they retired to Florida, then sometimes when they went to Kentucky, they would drive, and then they could stop here. But now that if they go, they normally just fly, and so there's not that chance to stop and see them like that. And I mean, yeah, I could drive and go down there, but it just seems like they either have company at their house or they're gone, to see the grandbaby, or they're gone to see the other grandkids, or, which I mean, I guess that's just an excuse to say we're busy and we don't make time to see each other. But
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. You know, my brother got mad that I didn't ask him to help me find a car. Well, I didn't trust him, you know.
Hmm.
And my other brother, they were real nice. I had to get home, so my brother that where I had the car wreck at, close to their house, he brought me home very nicely, but
Hmm.
he didn't check on me. He didn't, you know, or anything. All my belongings that he took out of the car for me was nice. I just picked it up Easter weekend, you know, from him, and so the families don't do like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were growing up, even though most of your family lived an hour or sometimes 2 hours away, you still went to that grandmother's house every Sunday. I was growing up every Sunday. My grandmother's kids, 90% of them were back there every Sunday. She didn't know she was going to have all 10 of them, you know, back with their families, or she was going to have 5 or 6 of us. But it was usually quite a few. You know, we'd all go back and
Yeah.
go to church.
Yeah.
And today, people are so scattered out that
Well, and that's the thing, technology is a wonderful thing, but it also makes people not be as close and not rely on each other because there's so much you can do online and, you know,
yeah, yep. And I know a lot of men who don't like to get on, are not computer people and don't like to get on. And I'm gonna call my sister today online and talk like we're talking. My brothers just don't do that, you know.
mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I have.
my sister and I will text back and forth, and sometimes we'll do a three-way text with my brother, and my brother might type one word or two words. Hey, Miss Carla, how are you doing? Welcome. Um, and here, my sister and I, we'll be typing a page, and he'll like give us a one word answer or, you know,
Yeah. And I did watch. I saw him. I don't know who I was watching. It just came up one time on YouTube. And every Sunday, all her kids are in different places. But every Sunday at this one time, they all get on a voice where they can see each other call. and they all talk to each other. That is their time together.
Mm-hmm.
And people still don't do that. You know, I have people say I have more YouTube family members than I do my regular family members.
Right.
When I was
Well,
down,
and it's like Lisa just said, that she used to have family reunions, but stopped because of COVID. And next summer they're going to try to have one again. But COVID really did a lot of things, change the way we live in a lot
it
of
did.
respects.
It
I
did.
mean, not only did an awful lot of people pass away from it, it changed a lot of things about the way we live our day-to-day lives. And not all of it is good.
Yeah, YouTube really got really big when COVID hit because nobody else could do anything. So everybody was at home getting on their computers on these Zooms or YouTube or Twitter. And there's some I hadn't even heard of. I don't remember the names now, but I saw we looked it up one time and I had never heard of some of these streaming places.
Yeah.
And they're just so big. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I never ordered anything online before COVID. I mean, but I worked in retail. I was used to going in a store and shopping. I wasn't used to, being at the computer ordering stuff like that. And it does make a difference.
Yeah, it
Well,
does.
I see you. If my computer will let me add you.
Yeah.
Oh, this mouse.
Even though you work in retail and you got a 5 or 10% discount, you were right there at the store. So why go somewhere else?
The computer don't
Right.
like me today.
No, it's not you. It's my stupid mouse. I got one of those mouses that's silent, so you don't hear the click every time you click. But you also don't know whether or not you clicked it.
I would have, if
Now
it
I
was my
lost her
channel, I
again.
would have said the ghost.
Come
Uh-uh.
on.
The ghost keeps shutting the door.
Let's see.
Try again. Okay. Look, step away from the mouse.
Hands up. Step away from the mouse.
The ghost didn't want to let me in your house.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you doing tonight?
Kind of busy. I'm doing laundry right now. That's why you heard that big old
No, I
bird
didn't touch nothing that
right
time.
before I fell down. I had to go get a bunch of stuff out of the dryer, and I got another load to throw in the dryer.
Maybe I should move it off of the.
That's the one good thing about when I move. My washer and dryer is going to be inside my house, so I'm having to walk outside my door to my little room. Yeah.
It's like she's popping up and down on here. On my tablet, though, she's on there. That's the weirdest thing.
Give me 1 minute. I gotta
Can
go.
you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I gotta
She
go.
can hear us. I know you can hear me.
Yeah, she can hear you.
Okay, because I can't hear her. Hello?
Oopsie.
Can you
Okay,
hear me?
now I can hear you.
Let me go grab my laundry out of the washing machine, throw it in the dryer, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't kick me out your house again.
I'm not going to touch anything.
Oh, I'm glad she came on because we need to figure out how to get those backgrounds instead of me looking at this brown wall. Did you know how she said she did it?
Don't you have to download the one program?
I don't know what program. That's why I'm saying I've got OBS.
Yeah, but it's something that she gets the backgrounds on and then she plays it through OBS.
Right.
But I don't remember the name of the program. Oh,
And I mean, you can get a program that I don't know if you run it through OBS or not, the green screen or blue screen, thing, green screen.
yeah.
Someone said just get you some green material and hang up behind you
Got like a little moth. Where the heck did you come from?
in your front
Oh,
door.
that was my last load into the dryer finally. And now I got a bunch piled on my bed I gotta fold and put away.
I know laundry can be a very tedious task, but
Uh,
it's good when you get it done, you know.
the jailhouse lines here, but the sun is just hitting outside and hitting through my slats on my awning.
Oh, that's right. You're like 3 hours difference.
Yeah, so it's just over here getting ready to set. And so it's at its low point, and it's coming through the outside awning.
Yeah, I sit here and forgot to go out to look at the sunset.
Oh, my nephew had a ball today. He was playing in the pool. It took me 2 days to fill.
Oh, you got it and got it
Yeah,
put up.
and it's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's like 10 foot by something.
Oh, wow.
And it's about waist deep, I think, to my husband. Maybe a little less than waist deep to my husband. And he's 5'11".
Oh, okay.
So it's
So,
about a 4-foot pool.
yeah, I mean, Mateo was up to, well, it wasn't quite that deep, I guess, because
3 foot. Yeah.
Mateo was about, he's 5, and it was about right here on him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, "You gonna get in the pool? You gonna get in the pool?" I said, "Not today. Too busy doing laundry."
And I don't know how cold it is in your area yet. If it's still too cool to get in the pool.
Oh, it was 80 today. I'm sitting here hot, going, "Why don't I plug in my fan?" And tomorrow I gotta take Pico to the groomer and then go up to the veterinarian and get his medicine.
Yeah.
And then try
Yeah,
to keep him on.
I had to turn my air on. It got too warm. The reason I know it got too warm is my box of candy that I got in Florida. It's all melted together.
Ah,
Oh, no.
I mean, I thought, it's not a perfect square shape anymore. It's odd shaped. So, but it's odd shaped.
ah. Oh, don't mention candy. I have no candy in the house, and I got a sweet tooth like crazy right now.
Mm.
Yeah. That's one good thing. If I do go towards their house, I'll be 30 minutes from that candy shop, which is going to be a bad thing.
I avoid the donut shops, which I love the Jellyfield and Creamfield donuts. Those are my favorite. Or the Bear Claws. I like the Bear Claws. But I don't like just the plain old donuts that got sugar all over them, or donuts that got sugar all over them. I don't know. I don't like sugar, but and the candy, I gotta avoid that. I mean, I'm trying to lose weight. I need to lose this. And a few other places too. But yeah. If you want me to, I'll play for you, but I got to get this laundry done. I just wanted you to know that I ain't forgot about you. I know I ain't been here in a while, but
That's all right. I didn't stay on my full time Tuesday. I was not feeling good at all and got off on Tuesday, and then I slept yesterday. I mean, I was like so just wore out, but I felt better today, so that's good. But yeah,
I used to have a hand fan, that I could sit there and fan myself, but I don't know what I did with it.
Mm. But yeah, you can play for us.
All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna switch it from the Navajo flute to the Cherokee flute.
I wonder if Husband's grandmother could play it.
Sweating, girl, it's hot. It's hot here. Echo,
Yeah.
what's the temperature in Pasco, Washington?
Right now, in Pasco, Washington, it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jeez.
81.
At 7 o'clock at night. Let's see what it is
Yeah.
here in Georgia.
Yeah,
It's only 77 here.
I'm sitting here just sweating. I'm like, I don't sweat, but boy, am I sweating today. But I'm up doing things too, so that makes me sweat just
But
a
now
bit.
we'll be high 80s and 90s all next week.
We're supposed to get in the 90s on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be in the 90s. And I know my husband is going to be hollering. He's going to be hollering, shut up everything, turn the central air on.
What's the temperature?
All right.
Mine says 75, but I don't think that's right.
I thought this, doesn't the weather app supposed to tell you when the sunsets are and stuff? Maybe not.
Well, it says it's only 71. I think we got rain coming through.
Test, 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 test.
Mommy.
Yay!
I like it. That's good. Good Indian music.
Yep. So
Honey, get-
peaceful.
That sun is like right. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed playing because sun like right in my eyeballs.
Oh, goodness.
All right, hon. I'll be listening down in the chat, but I'll be listening back and forth because I gotta run.
Are you are you part
Okay.
Cherokee?
My family says so. I haven't found any proof of it, but I have been since I could walk and talk. That's all I've been interested in was anything Native American. Didn't
Yeah,
matter what tribe, what any place. I just was so fascinated from the very get go of understanding. It
yeah,
was all
yeah,
about Native Americans with me. And
yeah.
people have said, "Oh, you've had a past life where you was an Indian for sure." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know that I believe that kind of stuff. Really, I don't know. I mean, I don't not believe it, but I don't know if I believe that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, all I know is what I do know is I've always been that way about Native Americans, and I collect nothing but Native American stuff. Um, and I picked up the flute, and it didn't take me very long at all till I could play the way you hear. Sounds better now that I got the amp and the mic for it, but you know, I
Mhm.
just started playing. I didn't learn from no book. I didn't learn from nobody. I just started doing it. But my
Yeah.
family says yes. There's Cherokee on one side of my family, and supposedly Cheyenne from my mother's side of the family. But I haven't found.
I've got Blackfoot on one side and Cherokee on the other, but I don't remember which.
Yeah, my husband was
Well,
Creek and Cherokee.
Yeah, the Cherokee's supposed to be on my father's side because my father's mother, I believe it's Cherokee, because my father's mother mentioned that, and I do have it in the paperwork. I don't know what the state was. Starts with the I, Iowa or something like that. I think is where our family, when we came over here, that's where it was. Uh, they originated. It's there. And then I did find paperwork of a relative. It's kind of like a journal page where she's telling a story about her trading house on the reservation and about a couple Native American women and how they brought their papooses and they put the papooses against the wall while they went inside to trade with my relative, my ancestor.
Hmm.
And when they got done with the trading, they came back out and looked, and their papooses no longer was there. It was like, where's our babies, And so the three mothers are out searching, and my ancestor had two daughters, and so she's where's my girls? And so they're all out there, panic, freak out, looking for these children. They find the two little girls with the papooses down at the river, and the little girls were giving the babies a bath. When the mother questioned the little girls what they were doing, they said, "Well, mommy, we thought they was dirty, so we were giving them a bath."
Oh.
And so, but my grandmother also mentioned the Trail of Tears and that the Indians that we were somehow kin to was in the Trail of Tears. And
My
so
husband
I
was
think it
too.
was Cherokee, but it could have been the Cheyenne. I might have it backwards.
Right.
And she told me about the Apache Tear. It's called the Apache Tear. I don't know why it's called the Apache Tear, but the story about the Apache Tear was because of the Trail of Tears. So
Accurately.
many people died on that trek because it was during the winter. Lots of old and young died. They froze, they starved, and died. And because of the deaths, the weeping and the crying, dropped to the ground, and where the tears dropped on the Trail of Tears is where these Apache roses started to grow. So supposedly, like I said, I don't know why they're called Apache tears. If it was, why isn't it called Cheyenne or Cherokee tears? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know how all the different, what areas all the different tribes were in,
Right.
and all. But I know there's a lot. I know my grandparents had a lot more Indian blood in them, but
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at my father, even my father was stuck in his house for many years. He was a truck driver, so he was in the sun a lot before he got sick. But then he was stuck on oxygen in his house for many years, and he never lost the brown skin and the leathery brown skin and the dark hair. And when he'd put that oil in his hair, it would have like a blue sheen to it. And
oh,
so, yeah, my father did have the look of a Native American, and so did his dad. His dad looked very much Native American.
yeah.
Um, I don't think anybody on my mom's side really looks Native American. Most of them are redheads with lots of freckles. I don't know why. All of my siblings were redheads, except for my half sisters, which were blondes. And out of all my full blooded biological siblings, I am the only one that never had red hair.
Huh. That's
I look
strange.
like my father, they said the
Yeah.
most. And all of my siblings look like my mother. So it just worked out that way. But yeah, I got to get to my laundry. I just wanted to come up and say hey to you ladies. And I
Well, we
hope you.
appreciate it.
Uh,
I said we appreciate it.
I
Are
hope
you
we
going
get-
live tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yes. Tomorrow
Okay.
at 7. It's my time.
Right. What time your time?
7.
7 your time, which will be 10 our time.
Which would be right about now, a little
Yeah.
bit before now.
Okay.
It's almost
I'm not-
7:30 now.
I'm not doing a live tomorrow because I have to go have the ultrasound on my thyroid done tomorrow afternoon. And I don't know how long that'll take or whatever. And I didn't want to have to, worry about
Yeah,
it.
I got a pretty full day tomorrow in the daytime too.
Yeah.
excuse
But
me,
I'll definitely come by your live tomorrow.
Yeah, come up and hang out with me, you ladies. I always could use the company. I feel like I'm begging everybody to come up in my panel. I don't like doing that, so I always put the
So much
link.
easier to talk when you've got somebody that you're talking with than it
Yeah.
is you're just up there talking by yourself.
Yeah,
know.
exactly. I did put out the most recent was a Temu, however the heck you say it.
Yeah.
Unbagging and a shout out for a friend of mine that sent me some awesome black licorice tea.
I was gonna say the licorice tea. Yeah, the licorice
Yeah.
root.
I want actually raw licorice root. I mean, if anybody be kind enough, send me some licorice root raw, not tea, not dehydrated, just raw licorice root. And dig it out of the ground or however it grows and send it.
And
Anyway,
Jack Clark says, I'm indigenous. I have 4 tribes in me, and I am registered and enrolled in one of them. Oh, cool.
well, I hope you like my music, Jack. And if you want to hear more, I'm a quiet listener. Just check me out. But
Quiet
it's spelled like you see it right there in that corner. That's how you spell it. If you spell it any other way, or if you separate it, you're not going to find me. You're going to find somebody else. Echo can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I was gonna say, and I'll go up here and I'll get it and I'll drop it.
Awesome. Anyway, let me get my laundry done, ladies. You have an awesome weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Again.
Great.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye. Yeah.
Let me see. Go in here and get it. Oops.
Yeah, my brother-in-law tried to get registered on the Cherokee side, but he didn't
Uh-huh.
have enough proof. Just because the book that their aunt wrote, she was a historical person, late, however you call them, and she wrote, would do research and write the books for different people. But it's a Cherokee, Indian in it, but it didn't really prove that they were Cherokee because their great grandmother's dead, and and their Creek grandmother's dead. So there's really, I don't think there was any paperwork saying she was from a reservation.
There you
So
go.
anyway, it's getting late for you.
Yeah. Yes. No matter what I do, it seems like I just don't. I need like more sleep on the other end. If I didn't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
But speaking of our friend, he's home tonight. Harold is. Did
Uh-huh.
he's his surprise was he's selling coffee.
Yeah. What about the coffee? Like,
I don't know if it's a special blend he had made somewhere, but now he's starting to sell coffee.
yeah. I thought he was going to sell dirt.
He is going to get that dirt with the stones in it. But when you
Yeah.
go to those places and you get about 10 different stones in one thing, usually a mine that has minerals and rocks in it,
Mm-hmm.
you only get 2 or 3 kinds out of that place. You don't get that many in one thing. So they're,
No.
from what I understand, you could go to a field, I forget what state it's in, and you can go diamond mining, and all that's there is diamonds. You can go to a ruby place, and all you're going to find is rubies. But when you get
Right.
all these other stones together,
Yeah.
you're not getting the best quality because whoever got those to begin with, they're going to keep the best quality.
Exactly.
But they're fun to do with kids. They're fun to
And,
really
and
do.
I have a feeling like, there'd be like a whole bunch of dirt and a handful of stone, like you have to go through an awful lot of dirt to find anything. But
Yeah, he did. He
I
was there a week or so ago. He was at a place sifting
don't.
dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I guess you need to get going.
Yeah,
'Cause we
I'm
can
gonna
go
go
back.
ahead and wrap this up because I do have to get up in the morning and go get my granddaughter, and then my daughter's getting off work early tomorrow afternoon to come meet us at the hospital so she can get the baby and I can have my test done.
Yeah. So, but I'm still, if anyone's in the Atlanta area, Douglasville area, wants to go dumpster diving, I'm still wanting to do that. But I don't want to go by myself.
Okay. I wish I was closer because I'd go with you.
Well, next time I come to your house, we might have to just do that just to see.
Yeah, well, that's what I said when we go to Florida. When we come back from Florida, we can go try to, I don't know what all we can find to do, but we can find something to do.
We can go to that grocery store right behind your house and see if they have an open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
But
goodness.
one of these days when I'm a lot closer, it could be maybe more than just once or twice a year,
Mm-hmm.
kind
Oh
of thing.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yep. So
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I mean, I hope they don't find anything, but in a way, I wish they would find something to explain to me what's going on, why I'm feeling so crappy, and why my blood sugar did that jump so high so fast. But if not, I mean, if everything checks out okay, then I guess I'm okay,
Just go back and remember what did I eat a few days before that might have did it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's times where you almost want them to find something, but not really.
No, I don't want him to find anything, but I would like an explanation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You really don't want anything wrong, but you want to know what. Yeah.
Everything we thought it might be has come back okay. I've always been hypothyroid, but
Yeah. So
yeah, see, that's the thing. It can change. And she said one side of my neck was swollen or something. So that's why I'm going to have the ultrasound done to see if I have any little.
about a little over a year ago, the doctor felt this bump or something right in here. So he said, let's go have it x-rayed. When they got through, they said it was fat. I said, I could have told you that because I wasn't anything wrong.
Yeah.
Just a lump of fat.
Well, I'll be glad if it's just fat, but whatever it is, I wish they'd figure something out. And she did some more blood work, and then according to the where it tells you like here's the normal range and your test was here or whatever. A couple of them to me looked like they were not normal, but she said they were okay, so I don't know.
Right.
But I know I've not been feeling like my normal self for several months, and then my blood sugar jumped really high fast, and we don't know what caused that. So I don't know. But anyway, so far everything's checking out good, so that's good. I'm happy about that. I don't want there to be anything wrong, but I would like to feel better.
Right.
She might just tell me I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna feel better. Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's not functioning like it should, and it's fluctuating some.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When you get ready to leave, I'll stay on 1 second, show you that.
yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody who came in, and let's have a good night. And hopefully we'll see everybody Saturday night on Real Life Happens for our party. We're going to be doing giveaways. Let me go ahead and drop that link in case anybody else hasn't subbed up over there.
Did you drop me?
I didn't do it on purpose. Don't leave though. I was trying to type in this link. There we go. I didn't mean to drop you. And it don't say to put you back either.
So he stopped it?
Okay. Just a minute. Let me see if I can make it work. There, you're back. Okay. When I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, lots of tests came back negative. Yeah, well, see, and that's the thing. Oh, now it's showing your little list. I don't want to ban you. But that's the thing, you could have something wrong and not all the tests, they don't do the right test, or the tests don't come back the right way, and then you don't know what's wrong with you. And I want there to be an answer. But thank y'all so much for coming. And like I said, we'll see y'all Saturday night. Real Life Happens. We're going to have some giveaways and have some fun. And I'll see you then. Tomorrow morning, though, I will be playing the word game early, 7:30. for a couple hours, and then I'll be over there Saturday night, and we shall see you there. And we will have bingo back on Real Life Happens at 4 o'clock on Sunday. So good night, everyone. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.